Grab you a cup of coffee, and today we are going to be talking about how to take the work that your high school students want to do while in high school and turn those into high school credits. Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us for today. Today we are only talking about mostly like for teen boys, honestly, is the goal for this one. And it's not like girls can't do some of these things. The ones that we're talking about specifically for work jobs today, mostly teen boys would be doing. Now, there's two reasons for that. Number one, these jobs are jobs that are under like what I would consider a specific group of jobs that we're going to look at today. Number two, in the next couple of weeks on Thursdays, we are going to be doing more videos talking about turning these specific jobs into high school credit. But some of these had like other specialty classes to go with them. So we broke them up into different ones. Today's is mostly like hands-on summer type jobs. The next video you're going to see, and this is spoilers, and also maybe to give you something to look forward to. The next video, we're going to be talking just about babysitting, like only babysitting and classes to go with that. And also like with the babysitting, there is other jobs that you would go on to after that if you took these classes, if you wanted to. And also just give you training for like volunteer work. Like if your child is interested in like working in church nursery as a college student, they might want to consider the babysitting into credit class or video that we're doing next week, or you might be. The next one we're going to do is culinary, because again, culinary has some specialty classes that you can take in high school that can be covered under that. There's a separate video coming up, and I'm really excited about this one, guys. It's textiles. And we're only going to be talking about textiles. And I'm talking like if you have a teen girl who's interested in fashion, costuming, clothing design, basically there's a job at the Smithsonian where they just fix and maintain some of these historic clothing pieces. That's going to be in a video in 3 weeks, and I'm really excited about that one. We're also going to be talking about art electives, and then hopefully with some help from my husband, who is really great with computers, there's a new track for high school students on if you want to do graphic design. Like if you're going on to do like making blueprints, engineering, there's a video just for that. So there are more videos coming on these topics. So if you look and you're like, no, my child isn't interested in any of those kind of jobs while they're in high school, this is a summary. And then there's going to be a breakdown of specific classes for other specific jobs coming in the next couple weeks. And I'm really excited about this series. So let's get started today. And we are going to show you right here on the spreadsheet. So what I do at the top is I name the spreadsheet, and if you are a member at 99 cents a month and above, this is one of the free PDFs that you do receive as being a member of our channel. If you can't afford sponsorship right now to be a member, you can watch the video, but I will tell you that because of the way we had to change the size on it so you guys could see it easier on mobile watching, it's going to be a little bit more difficult today because there's a lot of text on this for today. But we are going to try our absolute best, and we are going to share the information for free in the video. And then if you want, like I said, if you want the PDF, that's 99 cents a month and above for our members. So at the top, I just name it Turning Work into Credit. And like I said, basically you guys could just follow along and make this as a Google Doc as we go if you wanted to. And then we're going to again place that right here. And we put it at the top. So this is your first video with us. Hi, my name is Alicia. I've been homeschooling for 15 years. I teach from experience. And I also teach from lessons that I've learned from other homeschool parents, homeschool counselors. I do a local group in our greater Knoxville area that I counsel, new, struggling, those times when you're shifting from elementary to middle to high school parents. And like I said, I'm not perfect at this. I'm just teaching from my personal experience and the lessons that I've learned. So that is where we are with this. But if you're new to this, we break these videos down into different segments. So the first thing we do is we put the title on it, and then we are going to, hey, that is not what I told you to do. And I literally copy and paste from one screen to the other because that way it's already in a really pretty easy format for you guys to see. So we're going to do the class name, and we're going to do the study. There will be years right here. The years are not as specific or necessary because I do understand that some people are going to start watching these videos like when their children are rising 11th graders, 12th graders, if you might have a 5th year student, or they're just looking for some credits to fill their summer. I 100% get that. I start with year 1 for the parents who are literally starting from the beginning of high school to do some of this planning. You don't have to do all these classes year by year. These are suggestions from me of how it would look for this. So with that in mind, we are going to start with, why does it keep doing that? Hi, it's early. I need more coffee. So we are going to start with year 1. And the class for year 1 is business management. Now, I know what some of you may be thinking, like, okay, my kid just wants to mow yards and knows how to get high school credit for it. Business management is a really good class to start a job electives track for your students, because I think some students today don't understand the concept in a world where a lot of people are content creators. I'm a content creator. They don't understand that, like, sometimes it's not just I sit down with the camera and start filming. There's some business aspect of running our YouTube channel that goes in the background. There's aspect of running our Instagram. There's business aspect when it comes to all this. We have to file tax returns. We have to file, we have to pay for the editing software we use to make this video from the raw footage you're seeing now and turn it into a video, and we have to combine it with OBS and different things. But there is some actual business aspects that I feel like a lot of teenagers today just don't understand, like, actually goes on in the background of any job you do. And it doesn't matter what job you're going to be doing in life. Like, you need to understand that if you work for yourself, or even like if you're working for others, you need to understand that there's information in the background that you need to know. So, business management, what you're going to be studying. This is another one of those, I'm just going to find a curriculum that matches your family's needs. If you don't want a super extensive, this is how you run all the books for this, and this is how you do this, then don't do that. Find a curriculum that works for your family. There are several free programs online for business management. There's paid programs online. I'm pretty sure Monarch, that we used years ago, and I have a friend who's using Monarch now. And there's more and more families that are using more like Time for Learning, Monarch, and those, because both parents are working and they need a curriculum for their kids that they can like sit down, and it's a lot easier to use. So I think a lot of those online programs, there are business management classes. So just Google search it online, look up for what you need. If you are faith-based like us, there are faith-based business management classes. If not, there are secular classes as well. And again, the entire purpose of this class is just to be a foundation. It's just to give your teens a foundation of, this is what owning a business is going to be like. And again, like, this is the before you start mowing or before you start doing any of these side jobs in the summer, this is what you need to know of, hey, you know, you can't just mow and then expect mom and dad to pay for all the gas for that and for your groceries and your clothing and your schooling and all that. If you're getting paid for mowing, you're going to have to give some money back for the gas to cover your mowing expenses. And that's something that also could fall under that business management. And the other good thing about that is you could turn it into a hands-on class and talk about, okay, we're going to start. You want to mow? All right, we're going to mow. But let's talk about, what do you need to start mowing, and what do you need to be able to get to and from your destinations? How are you going to advertise? How are you going to let people know? And you can make it more hands-on if you want to. There are states like New York that do require you to have some extra paperwork, so it wouldn't hurt to try to find a free business management class anyways to kind of use as your springboard for this course. So year 2 is going to be really, really easy, you guys. Year 2 is job-specific credits. Now, again, this is where a lot of the paperwork is fixing to come in. What do I mean by job-specific credits? In Tennessee, as a high school student now, you can now do specialty classes. The first one, woodworking. if you have a child interested in maybe like going to thrift stores, taking some furniture, sanding it, restaining it, and reselling it on the internet or on Facebook or whatever. Please keep your kids safe on the internet, guys. I have to keep saying that. Then you could take a specific woodworking class. And again, all these classes I'm going to mention, there are free options online. There's paid options online. Find one that your kid looks like. Look it over with your teen and be like, does this meet what you would need? And does this have enough like hands-on for you? Does this have enough this, that? And also when I say like find what works for your family, I have 2 dyslexic who prefer video instruction. I have 2 AP who like words and pictures. So for your kid, figure out what that works best for them and see if you can find a curriculum that goes along with that. Also, in all technicality, if you can find a reliable source, YouTube videos counts. Like Crash Course is a YouTube channel, but they are an accredited high school / college teaching source. Therefore, they're an accredited source for YouTube. So like maybe find that. There's guys that make videos on YouTube of like making huts out of nothing and talking about back to our nomadic roots. So like there are videos on that. So, all right, the next class on here, carpentry. Yes, I know I put woodworking and carpentry, but they actually are listed as separate classes. And our umbrella school, they actually, and some other umbrella schools, they actually specifically want you to choose between those two. This is another fun one, robotics. And I know for this one, like, just truth be told, this one would be a little bit harder to find like a summer job doing robotics. But I think where robotics could also come into play, I think, is you can also use it for more and more people are looking for people who are trained to use drones for jobs. Just throwing that out there. And robotics also kind of covers that. Another job specific credit is drafting. Again, this I'm pretty sure this one falls under like blueprints and blueprint making and construction. So there is that one. Another one for basically electronic again is computer. You can find people who will teach you how to use like PDFs, Adobe, software like that. Here's another one, auto mechanics. You can take auto mechanics in homeschool. You don't have to have a high school shop to be able to qualify for teaching auto mechanics. And there is actually curriculum out there for teaching auto mechanics at home. And also, like, a lot of homeschool moms love when their high school boys take auto mechanics because kind of cuts back on a little bit of the cost at home for a while because they have to learn how to do like oil changes and filling the tires and detailing the cars and things like that. I know somebody who actually like started detailing cars as a side job and they would pay their kids to help. Last but not least, we have for now home ec. Now, this does have home ec cooking. This is on here as one of the options, but I do have a more detailed video for like if your child is 100% interested in culinary after high school, and it's not just something to help them get money just to get through high school and to save up some money before graduation, then you do still want to watch the video. But if they're just looking for like, they want to just do some baking on the side in high school and they're not really looking into culinary, then I would stick right here. But if they are looking at like maybe being interested in culinary after high school, please watch the culinary video coming up because I go in a lot of detail about, I haven't filmed it yet, but I have a lot of detail written out for like how that looks and how that works out for, or how that would work out for your student. We're going to be moving on. So year 3, and I will put those alternate summer credit at the end of this one. This is just to cover 4 years of high school. So for year 3, you're going to be doing a class called entrepreneurship. And I know I switched from business management to entrepreneurship, like alternating those years in between. That was a loud truck going down the highway. But I also like having kids know if you do 2 business classes back to back like that, they may be less interested in doing these classes. Also, like, they need those hands-on skills in between. So that's one of the other reasons why I broke it up like that. We've talked about entrepreneurship before. This one is covering both the pros and cons of starting your own business versus working a salary or hourly job at an established business. This is something they need to know. Again, now this is a little different from business management. Business management covers like how to start a business, how a business functions, and how it runs. Entrepreneurship is how to own my own business. Business management you could actually use for like if you're going to be going into work and you're going to be working like with other people. Entrepreneurship is just talking about the pros and cons and comparing, do I want to work for myself or do I want to work at an established business? What is the difference between working salary and working hourly? With entrepreneurship, you could also still turn this into a hands-on class simply by, okay, you're an 11th grader now. How are you taking these hours that you're working and how are you turning them into, like, how are you keeping up with your spreadsheet? Are you hiring siblings out? Are you hiring friends out to help you? What is your income? What is your outgo? And it's important for them to know, like going into a business of, hey, I'm only making this much, so I probably should only spend this much. If I'm spending this much on gas and gas prices are changing, I should probably change how much I'm charging people to do their yards. That's where you have some of these conversations with it. It is still a little different from business management. And business management, again, was supposed to just be a foundation of, okay, so you want to get a job. This is what's going to be involved with it. Entrepreneurship is more, okay, if you're really serious about owning your own business, here is everything that comes with owning your own business. So you've gone through all the classes on business. They've been through a specific job class of, okay, this is specifically what they're wanting to do. Also with mowing, if my personal opinion, if they're looking at mowing, auto mechanics. I would highly recommend auto mechanics because you do have to maintain those mowers. You have to know how to hitch up the trailers, all of that. I would highly recommend that. So you've gone through that though. You've been through the business management class. You have your good foundation. You have done specific job training with your child on how to maintain all this. They know the pros and cons now of entrepreneurship. You have got them through spreadsheets. You're teaching them how to do budgets and balances. You're working with them on balancing work and home lifestyles. That's also under entrepreneurship of when you work for yourself, you cannot be on the clock all the time. You have to have that downtime. You have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of your home. That can also be covered in there and balancing those two things out. You've been through all that. Now, year 4 is very simply now work experience. That's it. Work experience is not a book work class. It is a 150 hours class. Any class, at least in the state of Tennessee, I'm pretty sure it works this way pretty much across the board in the United States. 150 hours. If it is not a sit-down book work class like math, then you are required to do 150 hours. There are so many trucks going down the highway right now. 150 hours to complete that class. Now, if your child is working their senior year, and also by their senior year, if they're looking at like college path at least, I know my college path too are only doing statistics, which is a 4th year math, physics, government and economics. So 3 classes per semester because government and economics are two 1 semester classes. So that's only 3 classes. They get those 3 done. They have the rest of the day to do work. So it will be really easy to get those 150 hours after they've already done all their classwork. What my husband did when he was homeschooled high school is he actually would do morning shift. He would do an opening morning shift at a fast food restaurant. And then when his mom got off work, he would come home and do his work in the evening. And he wasn't just doing easy classes. He actually had taken high school classes for like becoming an electrician. I should have put that under here as well. You actually can take classes in high school to become an electrician. He would do work in the day and then he would do his school at night. That's between you and your family. It's between you and your student. What would work best. But work experience, this is you can work for yourself. If they want to, I know like mowing is only a summer job, but what I have found and what we do sometimes is we do pay a Boy Scout to mow for us because we're just so busy. We are so busy. And also, like, it helps that Boy Scout out, and he uses the money to go to Boy Scout camp. So what I do is, like, in between when there's not mowing going on, sometimes I'll offer him jobs of, like, just side jobs around the yard and things that I need done. And sometimes he does that for us. Like, we recently had some bad storms and we had, like, a lot of debris. So, things like that we can offer to help pay for that. And that's other things that you can look at as well. Especially like in the winter, in some places you could look at snow shoveling instead. So that's the 4 years. Now, normally, if you're looking at this, you're also looking at things to do in the summer. And this is one of the ones that you can do. And I'm pretty sure Intern and Apprentice is a class that you can repeat. I may be wrong. They may only allow you to do it once, so you may only get credit for it for one summer. But again, if your child is doing mowing or other summer jobs, you probably could find ways to plug that in. Like, you may be able to file for work experience for the whole summer and then for the school year. Or if they won't let you do that, there are other classes that fall under the work experience name that you can use. Let me see if I can find some of them. Intern, apprentice, work experience. You could also put some under community service, which community service you're not supposed to get paid for. But if you're mowing for widows, it falls under that. I'm pretty sure on some of these there is some flexibility that you could probably do work experience 2 summers in a row. And if that be the case, and they only let you do intern and apprentice once, you can totally switch these 2 up and just put intern and apprentice for year 4 and do work experience for 2 summers. But yeah, again, so there is a difference here. If you look at these 2, there is a difference. So work experience is just 150 hours. Intern and apprentice is 150 hours with a trained and or supervised work experience. They have to work under somebody else. That's the reason why I actually put it under summer credit, because realistically, like, probably between these 2 years right here, 2 and 3, they need to be trained on how to do these things safely. Mowers have blades. They need to know how to do it safely. Auto mechanics has so many things you could get hurt on. I cringe my husband and I both cringe every time that we see a video where they go to remove that radiator cap and it's sizzling, and we're like, no, don't do that. That's bad. But like, they need to be trained on how to do these things safely. So maybe you take one summer in between maybe years 2 and 3, and you teach them how to do these jobs and do it hands-on with them. If they do 150 hours under a supervisor, it falls under intern and apprentice. And then they could do work experience for between year 3 and 4, and then do it again for year 4 for high school. And that is it for today's video. That is how to give your child high school credit for the jobs they're going to do. Like I said, honestly, and it's not like just a division thing. Just this one is more for like the hands-on jobs. And I know this leans more towards what some teen boys do. I do know teen girls who also do mowing on the side. But like I said, I know that like there are teen boys out there that are like, I don't want to do art class. I don't want to do music class. I don't want to do some of these classes. I want to work. I want to do this. This is more for that. I will have videos coming up again on those other topics, babysitting, textiles. I'm really looking forward to the textiles one. And culinary. But that is it for today's video. Thank you to all our members for supporting this content and allowing us to continue making videos. And thank you to every single one of you for liking, watching, positive comments, and subscribing. And we will see you next time.